better. Just maintain that for the whole show. Polite Enquiries. Lords, day 1. Zach1521 asks us, is Test cricket back to normal in England? A batting collapse and half a day lost to rain.
It's mad to think in the time between the India Test and this one, there's genuinely been no rain, to the extent that I got an email today telling me about, this hosepipe ban that's going to be in effect from Thames Water. And now you don't really need it because of all that rain. And in terms of a collapse, England have collapsed quite a few times this summer. It's just the way they play. There's the B word. We should have brought some tequila. Or we can if we have a drink. But
drinking on the job.
Yeah, it's true. Maybe tomorrow, actually. Yeah. But no, I think it was all pretty standard. And also, you're new to the word, or certainly the way England are playing their cricket at the moment. That was quite fun, wasn't it?
I enjoyed today. I really wish we could have had more play.
Yeah.
But I also really am pleased South Africa didn't bat, because I think that would have been a bigger collapse.
Yeah, there was a point today where I thought we could have 13 wickets in the day here.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I still think, actually, looking at it, I wouldn't be surprised if there's parity going into the second innings.
Reese Benjamin asks, what did Lees and Crawley give us that Rory Burns didn't?
Something to talk about?
Well,
although Burns gave us a lot to talk about. The truthful answer is I don't really know, because I still think Burns ultimately is the best opener in England. It's just that they, Lees and Crawley happened to be in possession when McCullum and Stokes came in. It's a little bit like, you're the last into a club before they stop, and it's not by design. You haven't orchestrated it that way. It just so happens that the bouncers thought, actually no one in after you two.
I found it really interesting in the press conference that Collingwood said, we don't actually want or need consistency from Zach Crawley. I thought, what? And then he said, we just want match-winning performances every now and then.
Yeah.
Is that really what they were after? They don't want him to be consistent?
I think the way they talk about it is to embolden the players. But I think basically what it is the standards have dipped over the last couple of years, that they're not expecting consistency because they know they can't get it from these players. So they think, if you don't expect much, you won't get disappointed.
Ronald D. Sampson asks, how good is Anrik Nokia in white? I must say, I was really surprised to see how well he came back. He's been out of the test side for a year, and that injury he had, nobody even had a name for it. You guys name stuff? We didn't even have a name.
Wow.
He had a hip and back combination injury with no name, and hadn't played red ball cricket for ages, hadn't even played any first-class cricket before coming back here. And he's really quick, he looked really fired up. That's the most emotional I've seen him in test cricket. And I think he really knew what he was doing today. But more importantly, how good is he with the other three?
Yeah, that was when that team sheet dropped at 10:30. I was like, this is going to be good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's such an exciting. They've got a bit of everything, haven't they?
Exactly. Importantly, the left armour, which they didn't have for probably since the late noughties, early 2010s. Do we have a name for 2010s?
I think that's it, isn't it? The 10s, noughties, 10s.
I'm not saying that. Ston One Post asks, what has happened to Ben Stokes? Nowhere near the 2020 version.
Everything he talks about playing fearlessly and this, that and the other, he wants to embolden that in the most bombastic way possible. So he tells his players to do that, and then he says, right, okay, we all have to be brave. I will try and be the bravest. I think he's so unconcerned with statistics at the moment that it's quite honourable, and at the same time, there will be a time when actually maybe you should think about them a bit more. But he's basically batting for other people now. He's batting to make other people feel good, whether that's people in the stands or people in the dressing room or the guy at the other end. He's trying to basically take the distraction away.
Also, what has happened to all of us since 2020? I feel like that's a really unfair question. We've been through a whole pandemic.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
To be fair.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Some of us have grown, some of us haven't.
Yeah, nothing's happened to me. ABCDXYZ, I'm glad these names haven't changed. 2612 asks, should South Africa continues to play Maharaj in these conditions, they could use a 7th batter or an all-rounder.
He's not even at the chance to do what he was here to do.
Poor guy. I think actually, they've got the all-rounder, because Marco Jansen is now playing as that lower order bowling all-rounder where he's going to offer something with the bat. Or maybe, I don't know if he's going to. He should offer something with the bat.
He smoked a few against the Lions,
And he can.
Big
absolutely
arms, big
can.
levers.
So I think, poor Keshav, we got to give him a chance. when the toss happened, people were saying, why didn't they play two spinners with Simon Harmer in there as well? So, I mean, let one of them at least have a go. And Arish Jetlia asks, will South Africa be able to maintain their form? I mean, it is day one.
Yeah, but like, I know we only saw like 32 overs today, but that felt quite sustainable, what they were doing.
I think so. It would have been interesting when it was time for Maharaj to come on. And in fact, when the change bowlers came on, I also thought like, oh, I don't know. Lungi only bowled 5 overs. I was wondering what that was about, and maybe there's something that he's carrying, and maybe they're having to bowl him a little bit less. I'm just guessing. So I think it'll be interesting when Maharaj is needed. And also, if the England batters get a partnership going and start to get on top of them, what are they going to be able to do then? Because what I'm finding so interesting is that South Africa is saying, we are going to bowl the same. We're going to bowl the same lines and the same lengths because that's Test cricket. And England are saying, actually, we want them to bowl differently, so we're going to do all these things to make them change lines and lengths.
Yeah.
And I want to see how that plays out.
Yeah, it's basically just a blinking contest.
Exactly.
And today, was it England Blanc? That's not the right use of that, yeah. But England Blanc today.
That's a new word. That's your algorithm.
Yeah, that's the other B words. There's
B
more
word.
of that. There's more of that.
Oh my gosh. Innovation on day one of Light Enquiries. We will see you tomorrow.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.